Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness. Facebook Live. Facebook Live. I am here. There we are. I think it's working. Amazing. Okay, Facebook. I am also over here on TikTok. Oh my gosh, you're from South Carolina. You're right next to me. We are neighbors, my friend. How fun is that? I am also live on TikTok. I want to give you guys good wishes, good vibes for this Sunday. I hope you're having an incredible Sunday. Our weekend has been glorious. If you're following me on socials, I have been posting beautiful like thunderstorm weather videos because we get the best storms. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Howdy, neighbor. Hello, darling. We get the best storms here in Charlotte. Okay. No, I am not. I am married. I am here to share something with you. So, I have not perfected my idea here. I've not sat and, hi, Jillian! I've not sat and talked this out 1,000 times, but this is something that's really, 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 really on my heart. I have, for those of you that don't know me, and on Facebook, I really think I should take a moment to reintroduce myself because a lot of you have been following me for quite some time, and I know I have some silent watchers. I can tell my silent watchers, the people that maybe view videos but don't comment. I've also gotten messages from a handful of you that watch from the back or the behind the scenes and then send messages saying that you've been watching for years, and that's crazy to me. So it's always a good reminder that you got people that you can't see. That's kind of the point of this live today too, is that I believe it's really important for every person to slow down and contemplate their story. And I was part of a masterclass this last past week that has really helped me slow down and realize what my story truly is, where it is that I really came from, and what my purpose and mission is here on this planet, in this environment, right? And so I want to just start by saying that those of you that follow me that have a desire for more life, that have a desire for expansion in business, that maybe want better relationships, maybe you're struggling to kind of, figure life out, to get on your feet, I want you to know that I see you and I hear you. And it's really become apparent to me in the last week or so that there are elements of my story that have gone untold. And I think that I should take my own advice and do a little bit more storytelling as to the nature of Catherine and where Catherine comes from, and why I feel like I can, why I feel qualified to breathe life into your vision and to help you realize that you're worth it and that you can move forward and that nothing really stands in your way. I come from a very small town in North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina. It's a very popular town. Most know it for its Blue Ridge Mountains. You guys might hear my kids. They're down there spraying the windows, cleaning the windows. You might know it for the Blue Ridge Mountains if you know of it at all, but it's a very beautiful place when you're coming there as a tourist. I was raised by a single mom. My father left before I was born, so my mom got pregnant, and then he found out I was pregnant. I've since confirmed this, actually, and he went away. That's a story for another day because we got a lot of lessons there, but he went away and became a Navy officer, and so my mom was left to raise me all by herself. And back in the day, I thought this was normal because most of the people in my surroundings were also being raised by single parents, whether it be a single mom or a single dad, most of them single mothers, but some single dads too. So this felt normal. I thought this was everybody's circumstance. Hi, Tammy. Thank you for joining. So growing up, we had it rough. But again, rough was normal for us. We lived in mobile homes. A lot of them had, roach infestations. I posted about that yesterday. I'll never forget my mom pouring me some Frosted Flakes. I haven't eaten Frosted Flakes since, but pouring me Frosted Flakes. And then she poured the milk. And when she poured the milk, I saw the dead cockroach come up to the top. And I'm like, I'm never eating this again. So the cockroaches were in our cereal, but God bless her. She did the best she could, man. My mom is a warrior. Thank you so much for saying that, Astro King. My mom is still a warrior to this day. She worked really, really hard to give me the best she could. I have a brother that doesn't live in the house. He didn't live in the house the whole time I was growing up. That's a whole nother story. But it was normal for me not to be the popular kid in school. It was normal to get not even hand-me-down clothes, but like thrift shop clothes or knockoff clothes. I'll never forget, I had this friend, Haley Morgan, and she's on Facebook. I might tag her here just so you can see this, Haley. Haley Morgan had the coolest clothes. Her parents were able to shop at Aeropostale and American Eagle and Hollister, and she always said, man, I wish we were the same size because I would let you borrow my clothes. So I could borrow her shirts, but not her pants. Well, one day my mom found a pair of Hollister pants at a thrift shop, and she bought them for me. I was a 00, very, very tiny. I got made fun of a lot for that. But she bought me them, but they were 00 shorts, so they were high-watered pants. And I'll never forget wearing these pants to school, thinking I was so cool. And then everyone's like, "Why are they so short?" Like, "Ooh, they're really no. You're the reason why I'm progressing. You're the reason why Astro King LLC." Oh, I'm so excited! A Lange curling iron is what I used to curl my hair, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm telling you this, the high watered pants, I applied for dance class. I was in dance as one of my extras, and I thought I was so cool, and there was this song, we were learning it, whatever, and then on the day of the recital, I was waiting for my mom to come, and she's like, "Oh, can't come. I couldn't get a ride. I'm so sorry." And I remember being on that stage and like, okay, I don't want to be here either then. You know, it like really sucked, but I understood because she depended on other people to take her to and from. Yes, I'm a coach. I think I've reached out to you before, DB. I believe that we've DM'd before. Yes, I'm a coach. Reach out to me. You can book a free consult. I'm happy to talk to you. I know my mom had it tough. And I did my best to understand why we had life the way we had. But at the same time, I started to build a little bit of resentment. I started to get a little bit aggravated with the fact that we couldn't do things. We didn't go on vacation. We never got our nails done together. We didn't do anything together. I mean, her life was really tough, and so she would come home from work and get lost in a bottle. Bless her heart. I mean, really looking back on it, I can see why, because it was just so difficult. My family, she raised my mother, her mother. Her mother's name is Louise. It was my mama. If you're from the South, you'll know a mama. But she took care of my mama Louise. And this, I don't know why, whatever, but that woman was evil, like a little spitfire, mean woman. And she also took care of my two uncles as well, Scotty and Philip. And so as a little girl, I have a point to this, I promise. I'm not trying to bore you. As a little girl, I watched my mother, which was this beautiful woman. I felt like I almost watched her deteriorate in front of my eyes because she had so much love, and people would take advantage of her, and they would drain her, and they would pull the energy out of her. And I remember, I have a journal, on God, I have a journal over here somewhere. I think it's right here. Look, let me show you. I have a journal from when I was a little girl. I've kept journals. I'm a huge journaler. And I would talk about how my mom and my grandma were screaming at one another and how I just could not understand why they couldn't get along. Oh, look, Haley Morgan. That's one of her poems right there. I'll be damned, Haley Morgan, if you ever see this, girl. Oh my gosh. I always wondered why they were so mad. And, you know, it wasn't until I really started spending time at more friends' houses that I noticed how dysfunctional mine was. And I'm like, you know, I thought this was kind of normal, but it's not. This really sucks, and I don't want to do this. And so, long story short, I ended up moving out of my home when I was about 14 years old. And because I, as a person, had such low self-confidence, such low self-esteem, I didn't feel like I could do much. I wasn't much. I just had to settle for whatever I could get. Hi, Daisy. Love and miss you too. I grew up very resilient, but also very broken and jaded. And I wasn't raised like, oh my God, you're so confident, or you're so smart and you can do this and you got this. Like, my report cards weren't checked. No one looked at my report cards. No one signed my permission slips. And I understood. Again, it's like you look at it and you're like, damn, man, I don't want to inconvenience you, Ma. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the stressor in your life. When you're raised in a way like that, you end up with deficits or voids. You end up with things about you that you go out looking to fill somewhere else. And I can say that with a lack of guidance and a bunch of voids, I went out and created quite the life, can I tell you, okay? Quite the lifestyle that Coach Catherine chose. One of replicating decisions of my childhood, but at the same time doing the best I could to stay away from the things that I saw tear my family apart. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much. I was always the DD. I was always the person that kept everything together, that made sure I had my eyes on all the people at the party, and if anything went wrong, I had to be the one to figure it out. I was always the one that people called when they needed advice. I was always the one that I was the glue. And everybody knew this. If you're going to have a party, have Katie there. That was my name back then. Have Katie there because she'll be like Mother Nature. I was like the angel of the party. I've saved more lives in that way than I can count. And I mean that. And when you're raised in a way like that, and that's your environment, you look at life a certain way. I mean, by the time you grow up and kind of get out of that, you've seen things, right? You've been places and you're like, dang, this is not a friendly world. I've seen people go way before their time. I've seen things happen that really shouldn't have happened. I've seen it all. And in conversations with my grandma, which really isn't my grandma, and I'm not going to tell my whole story today, but I've got a lot of things that I want to inform you of, and for very good reasons. But my grandma, Barbara, has said to me so many times, Katie, you've been through so much. You're so strong. Like, I couldn't imagine going through all of that and being okay. And I think that all of us have a story. Like, that's the thing. I couldn't imagine going through what some other people go through, and they can't imagine what I go through. It's all a story, though. And I think that when we really come to terms with what has created us into who we are today, and we make a solid decision to move somewhere else in life, that we do big things, this is when we step into magic. In 2020, I found my calling, my literal calling in life. I had been, before then, I dropped out of high school, got a GED, started an associate degree in human resources management at a technical college, and ended up quitting, and worked a bunch of managerial jobs from there on out. I worked at banks, I managed gas stations, I was a city manager for Hertz Car Rental, had 4 locations, over 150 employees, a huge ass fleet of luxury vehicles, like, signature airports, working with celebrities, the whole 9 yards, thought everything was great, but it wasn't, because it was never good enough. It paid the bills, but it didn't feel good. And being a female in the workplace puts you in very peculiar situations, may I add. And this does not mean that it doesn't happen to other people. It's, again, equal. We all have problems. We all got our hand of cards. Thank you so much. You're a beautiful soul. Thank you. Mwah, I love you. But it really paying attention to your lens of perception, you can learn a lot about yourself and what has molded you into who you are. And so that's kind of there. Let me move over here. So in 2020, I got introduced to Bob Proctor, Thinking into Results. I'm not going to bore you. This is not a sales pitch for TIR, but that program and the community and the combination of all the things literally changed my life. 100% literally changed my life. But what I've tried to do, I've been doing this full time now since then. Since I got into that program, I've been full-time life coach. I retired my husband within a couple of months. He's never went back to work, and we've been managing a 5-family household on my coaching programs, my coaching, my mentorship ever since. And it's been the best thing ever. But I try not to say that. Over time, working with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, you start to notice things, right? Bob often used to say, you learn a lot about a person by what they say, but you learn a whole lot more about what they don't, or by what they don't say. And so I've said that one of the best parts of my job, I consider it literally a godsend. It is one of the best blessings I've ever had, is how many people I get to talk to. I get to learn about people from all over the world and all different backgrounds and all different stories and all different traumas and all different pains and all different goals and all different. And I, my friend, get to notice the golden line. The thread that strings everybody together, I get the privilege of noticing. And so when I got into this program and I got into this community, this coach said to me, "What is your goal?" And I'm like, "It's $5,000 a month. I need to make $5,000 a month." I lived in a 3-bedroom apartment with rent of $955 a month with 2 children and my spouse, Marcus, and we had 1 baby on the way. And I'm like, oh crap. Well, not at that time, not when I started, but we ended up having a baby on the way. But I'm like, I just need $5,000 because we're coming out of COVID, we're in COVID, whatever, we're under all these protections. If I have this, I can pay my bills. And that coach said, only 5? Why don't you double it? $10,000 a month, $10,000 a month. And at that point, when you come from a place like I came from, which I think a lot of us do, and you get into a program about manifesting, your goal is money. You're like, I got to get out of this. I need money. Bob said, I was illiterate, couldn't read, write, whatever. I made $1 million. I'm like, well, shit, show me how to do it. There was something in me, and this is what I'm trying to touch on right now, is there was an ember in my soul. When I tell people that when I started that program, there was no option for the work not to work. Now, let me keep track here. I don't want to go into religion and spiritual belief system on this live, although I think it's a very important conversation to have. I knew, and this is only in retrospect, I realized that this is so for me, learning about universal laws and success principles and epigenetics and science and neuroscience and plasticity and how the brain works and connections and synaptics and obsessed. I knew this was for me because I had spent my entire childhood. My mom would send me to the church on Wednesday, I think just to grab their dinner. And I'd go Sunday with my friends to the Awana book club, camp, whatever it was. And I could not for the life of me remember their stories. Guys, give me some taps, please. Thank you so much. I couldn't remember scripture. I couldn't remember any of it. So when I got into this work, I'm like, it just makes sense. And I don't know if you've heard of, I'm sure you have, unconscious competence, right? I started learning about having a goal and setting intentions, knowing doing gap, and how our higher mental faculties work, your ability to reason and focus, and the law of assumption, how magic works in real life. And my mind was blown. I'm like, this is it. This is the answer. This is what I've been missing. And I was so excited that it was working in my life that I got on the internet and started sharing it. I couldn't get enough of it. And that's where my TikTok page started. You can go back and scroll back and see I started posting like, oh my God. You know how manifestation works? You don't order a pizza and then call them 17 times asking if it's still coming. Like, I was so excited. And that excitement made sales. It closed people into this program that I was in, and I wasn't even on the sales team yet. But I couldn't get enough of it. Like, I can't explain it to you. I felt it in my soul, and I hope that you've experienced this at some point in your life. And if not, that's what you're working toward, not finding, but allowing into your world. And that's by following nudges. I started selling people into this course that I was a part of before I was even on the team, to the point where they opened the team, invited me in, and I hit the top of the leaderboard and remained there. Music, magic, I just knew it. When I was coming into this program, and it's not something that once I got in there, I felt that way, but prior to signing up, I almost sold my car for this. Like, it became almost like an obsession. Like, I know this is going to change my life, and I'm not repeating what was going on in my childhood. I don't want my kids to go through that. I know that we could do something different. We have to do something different. My husband was working at a factory called Eaton, and he liked it, but it was not the thing, right? You're gonna have to work there for 50 years to get even any type of payback for that. Anyway, the sales started sailing. and people were winning and I was winning, and that $5,000 goal a month that felt so big turned small. And it's like, oh my God, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, $40,000 a month. How is this happening? My mom barely made that much in a whole year's time. Is this real? And looking back on diaries and journal entries and self-image scripts, I realize that I did the work. I was the work, and that's why the work worked. And my passion for this has remained with me all this time, and my entire life is dedicated to helping people understand this. I said to you guys earlier, if you've been here from the jump, that when I got into this world, the goal was for me. I need money. I want money. I need to be okay. I don't want this to happen to my kids. Me, 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 me. Somewhere along the pathway, I experienced a shift. And it was, wow, this is not about me. I'm a vessel. This is not just about me. I am a conduit. This is about the mission. This is about the bigger picture. This is about helping people realize, thank you for the gifts. Helping people realize the gift that they are, not that they have or can get or whatever, but truly the gift that they are. And the magic that we have all wrapped up and smothered by virus code. It's in there. And so that's what's gotten me here to today, is a complete and utter obsession with this material and with watching other people get it. Now, there have been a lot of developments over especially this last year, because my story started on a sales team. I fell out of alignment with the values of that place, so I ended up in my own business 2 years ago. And so now, 2 years ago, for the last 2 years, I've been primarily working with people on a one-on-one basis, right? I'm just telling you a story. And so there's only so much you can do when you're consulting one-on-one. What the heck? Did you just send me a galaxy? Oh my God, I love it. I just got a galaxy on TikTok. Astro King, I freaking love you. Oh my God. I love that. I love my gifts. Listen, you got to celebrate every single one of them, okay? That is freaking amazing. Thank you so much. I love you. So good. Okay. I have had to figure out how to go from one-on-one to group, because you can only do so many one-on-one consults, right? And so in my quest to refine my business and to move to the next level, we've made a lot of investments. We've spent well over 6 figures in coaches and programs and things to hire experts to help us figure out how to get to the next level. Well, you know, those business coaches, they say, well, what's your niche? So what's your niche? And what's your niche? And what's your niche? And who are you talking to? What are you going to sell? And what is your offer? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Here's what I've discovered. And I had this epiphany, and I can't say it all in one sitting, but I had this epiphany the other day talking to a dear friend of mine, Tammy. We were talking about story and objectives and goals and what it is that people want and why it is that I'm here. And it came to me that 99.99999% of people come into my world not because they're procrastinating chumplards that are lazy, but because they don't know what to do and they don't know where to start. But what they would love is to build a business from 0 to 6 figures in a short period of time without having to spend a lot of money on ads or things or programs and time and all this stuff. That is why people come to me. Now, they may come and, say, well, it's this and it's that or whatever. At the end of the day, it's finances, it's relationship, it's health, and it's purpose. These are the 4 pillars. Anybody on the entire internet will tell you this. In my world, it seems to always come back to, I want financial stability so that I can feel free, fluid, flowy, and be able to step in my purpose. My goal has been to help people rise above survival so that then they can thrive and dip into creativity. I went off the deep end. I got a new job, stepped into coaching, and just completely quit my corporate career all the way together and just said, screw the whole thing. I'm going all in. But not everybody can do that, okay? And I actually, since starting this, believe that it's quite a good idea for folks to be financially stable in order to step into creativity and to create a beautiful business. And here's the beauty, okay? Here's the awareness. Tap, 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 tap. Here's the awareness. I don't know if you know Alex Hermosi. If you don't, and you care to be a business owner in any capacity in any industry, you absolutely need to go look him up. I'm not affiliated with him whatsoever, but he writes the book $100 million Offers and $100 million Leads. And a lot of his stuff is talking about scaling businesses from 20 million to 60 million to 100 million. Even though that language is a little bit beyond a startup, I think a lot of the stuff can be applied to your situation and you can learn a whole hell of a lot about it. Well, in his world, he says often that the number one thing that you can buy, that you should buy, and that you should spend your time on, or you should spend your money on, is to buy time. You should, if you're going to spend your money on anything at all, spend it on buying time. And this is part of my awareness. I have, with no, hardly any guidance, I tell you, have built a business, a multi-six-figure coaching business with my bare hands alongside my husband over the last several years, and have done so successfully with no ad spend, and have walked hand in hand with other people, hundreds of people from all over the world. I want to emphasize this because I think it's one of the most important parts. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter where you want to go. It doesn't matter the business, the industry. None of it matters because this work applies to everybody. In all places, everybody uses, whether consciously or unconsciously, universal law and success principles to rise on top. And those that wish to keep and increase their money will do so by law in an ethical way instead of in an unethical way. And so this is the name of the game. This is what I do. I help people find their dharma. I help people unlock their gifts. When I work with people, your goal becomes my goal. Because why? Because a long time ago, this little girl was looking at her mama in all of her supposed femininity and watching her crumble because she didn't have guidance to be able to build something that ended up building her, that ended up sustaining her. And now that is my mission. I am here to help men and women build something that ends up building them. This is the end of generational poverty. Like these days, money is so easy to make. And if you hear that and it makes you cringe, bullshit. The hard part, and trust me, I know this with all my heart, the hardest part about making money is you. Thank you for the rose. I guarantee this. The hardest part about making money is you being in your own way. And so we talk about, oh, let me get to my first, 15K month, or come do 10 days to 10K and all this other stuff. The strategy works. Every strategy works. Every single strategy works. The person behind the strategy is what changes. This is what's different. If you're not solid backing the strategy up, the strategy won't work. And this is why two people can go on the same course of action. One will win and one will fail, period. And so in the pursuit of a beautiful life, of going beyond whatever your previous norm is, or, to stop sacrificing the things that you want in life, I think that we need to create a plan for at minimal survival. At minimal, to have the things that you need in order to feel okay. They say like food, shelter, water. I think also, though, psychological survival is important. So if you've read any philosophy books, especially it's Vishen Lakhani and Jay Shetty talk a lot about the olden days, like bullshit rules or rules, what have you. And they talk about in the olden days how survival mechanisms came into place because you were at actual threat, like you were in threat of being chased by a bear, or eaten by something, or hunted down, or whatever it is. Nowadays, we don't have as much of that, luckily, thankfully, as we do psychological fear. We are in survival psychologically. Bullies, we're afraid of being judged, we're afraid of being questioned, we're afraid of being looked at like we're silly, we're afraid of people not thinking we can do it right. We have a bunch of negative self-talk and criticism and comparison, and we compare ourselves to others, and we get all worked up and sad, and just, thank you so much. Oh, I just love you. You are the best. That's our problem. It's not the strategy, it's ourselves. And if we can master, holy shit, I just love you. If we can master ourselves, you guys, we can master any of this. You have to build a solid, steady foundation. I tried to capture that. I like to take pictures of these. We need to create a solid and steady foundation. And anybody on the internet telling you that building a business from scratch is all roses is full of shit. Okay? This has been one of the toughest feats of my life. Toughest feats of my life. I've not yet figured out how to make multi-millions and millions and gazillions of dollars, okay? I've not done that yet. But I have come from absolute nothing to something stable, growing, consistent, and thriving. And the feeling you get knowing that it's yours and that you spent your blood, sweat, and tears to figure this out, I've never felt anything like it before. To know that you yourself are willing to invest the time in yourself, are willing to embody this energy where when you're like in my world, honest to God, and I got this from my client. Her name is Julie Samako, Southern Charm Reads. If you don't know her, or if you're interested in crafting and have never heard of her, go check her out. She has a beautiful, voluptuous business playing with artificial flowers. And I say that, but she's a very, very beautiful businesswoman. She said the other day, and I just love the way she said it. We were on my mastermind group and talking about what it takes to be successful and all this. And she has $1 million flower business, membership groups. And she says, when I was building this business throughout the last 15 years, there would be a problem like, oh shit, I got to code this website, or what does this mean? Or what does that mean? The developer's asleep and I don't know how to design, or whatever. And she's like, oh my God, Stormy. Hi, Stormy. I love you. I didn't know you were here. She said when she had a problem, it was never, oh, well, I guess that's my sign. I guess I just ought to quit. It was, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? That is the energy, guys. That's the energy. Think about it. How can you fail if you just keep asking yourself, how can I fix this? I'm going to fix this. I'm not going back there. Like, it's not happening. I'm not sliding backwards. I just think it's so vitally important that we don't get wrapped up, and this is just my personal opinion. I mean, do your own research, do your own thing. But I'm here to tell you that I think the internet does an injustice by telling people that it's easy to do something that actually takes an immense amount of grit, determination, clarity. You need a support system. You need to be in proximity with people that are hyping you up and not beating you down. Because if you don't know what you're doing and then you feel a little bit weary about it and your self-image is a little bit shaky about it, then the first person that you care about or that you look up to that beats down your dream is going to make you crumble. You're going to crumble. You can't do that. I promise you it's not going to work. Someone keeps asking a question. Hang on. Is there just a 12 laws of the universe? Is there any good books for other laws, helpful laws? That's funny. There is a 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. Deepak Chopra speaks about a few universal laws. I think it's 16 Universal Laws by Jennifer O'Neill speaks about universal law. The Science of Getting Rich seminar by Bob Proctor, the workbook, speaks on universal law. And then I have created a beautiful course called By Law, A Journey Through the Universal Laws as well. And I cover all major laws, 7 major laws, and then a plethora of sub-laws. So that's that. Let me just wrap back up. What part of my awareness is that I got into this business and the work worked because I worked the work, because there wasn't an option for the work to not work. And I have seen a lot of people come and go, a lot of clients come and go. I've worked with people where I mentor, I coach, and they take it and run with it, skyrocket, crazy results beyond even me, doesn't even make sense, illogical, awesome, amazing. And then I've seen people receive the exact same guidance and go absolutely nowhere. And so the question has been and is to any mentor in my position, and I think anybody ever, like even as a leader in a job. Oh my God. You are so sweet. I keep getting gifts over here. This is so fun. Even a leader at a job, you got to wonder, Why do some employees come in and work with you and they work really effortlessly and then others don't? Why do some work and why do some don't? And guys, no matter how many rabbit holes you want to go down, this comes back to like self-leadership. We're not taught how to regulate emotion. We're not taught how to think for ourselves. We're not taught the energy of things. We're not taught how to notice opportunity and seize it, how to be resilient and not triggered little babies. You know, when someone doesn't like your product, people take it to heart. That used to be me. Like, oh, they don't like me. Oh, something's wrong with me. Oh, what the la 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 la. We have to rise above that. You don't have to. I mean, you get the opportunity to if you want to build something that ends up building you. I am going to do a little challenge, okay? So let me tell you, let me skirt. I got this idea. Now, this was a total intuitive hit. Hit the screen likes. Let me take a sip of my Starbucks. Stormy will know. Me and Storm, we started in the same place, girl. That's my girl. I love Stormy. Okay. Let me tell you another story. Back in February, I think, February or March, love you, baby, of 2023, I did something called a TikTok intensive. Your girl had 6,300 and something TikTok followers, and I thought I was just the shit. I was on top of the world, top of the world. And this is why. Because there's a mindset part of business, right? And then there's a strategy part. And your girl over here building business all by herself was looking at the strategy thinking, people need to know about this. You need to get in where you fit in. And those of you that were in my TikTok intensive era back at the beginning of 2023, those of you that came in, did the work, and are showing all out are reaping the rewards. But it's not too late to get in. So I did this intensive because I was convinced, and still am, that even right now, I got 3.8K likes over here. And then on Facebook, it says 5 reactions. You see what I'm saying? Big, huge difference, which I get it. Now the format on Facebook is not the same. I've been saying this for years, and maybe I'm just manifesting it, but the proof is in the pudding. Look, look for yourself. So anyway, on this app, this one, there are so many ways to monetize and to make money. And in spirit of my desire to help people rise above survival, or at least get to survival and then into thrival, my idea has been forever. And any one-on-one person I speak to, I'm like, you need to get on TikTok. You need to start posting on this app. You need to start sharing this stuff. You need to start just getting on there. Like, I love that it's laid back. You don't have to be a certain way. You have to do a certain way. You can get paid for creating, for your likes. You can get paid through the shop. You can get paid because clients reach out to you. We calculated it. I literally have made over 6 figures from clients out of this app alone, just in this app, period. It is incredible. And so I'm putting all this together and I'm thinking, oh my God, when I first got started, I needed a few things. It was a recipe of things that just completely changed my life. 1, I needed someone to plant the idea that I could do more. I'm here to tell you right now, their rags to riches stories, rich if you will, is full prosperity. I mean good in relationships, health, wellness, your parenting. You're making more money than you ever thought you could. It's relative. It's a feeling. It is not an absolute number. People kill me with that. Oh, are you a billionaire? No, asshole. I'm not a fucking billionaire. Rich, wholesome, thriving life. You need someone to tell you that you can do it. And so I'm here to tell you can do it. You need a method in which to do it. And I've got a couple of these. 1, I tend to get people in my world that want to become coaches, and I had an awareness on this. Coaching is not just coaching clients' spirituality and mindset work. I have a client that's a teacher in school. She's a coach. She's coaching children. You got leaders in corporate America. They're coaching their employees. You got stay-at-home moms. You're coaching your household. You're teaching people how to treat you. Everybody's a coach, right? And so I'm like, holy shit. I created this phase 2 environment that I've been saying, second phase of life, whatever. No, what this is a course. I don't even like course because it ain't even like that. An experience that guides you through building something that ends up building you. So that's that. This is this. What I'm here really to talk to you about or offer to you, is TikTok intensive, like step 2. But here's what we're doing. About 6 months ago, I signed up. Actually, I got reached out to by someone that said, or it was TikTok, hey, you want to be TikTok Shop affiliate? And I'm like, maybe, let me sign up. Well, I got approved. And that was so much fun because my account went from, I had a viral video or two. You're so amazing, Stormy. Thank you. I had a viral video or two, and so my followers are up to almost 60K, which I'm so grateful for. Thank you guys so much for your support. My first ever TikTok Shop thingamajigger was oh, my kids are going on a walk. My son is so cute. He's growing up. So is my daughter. I sold a little mic. Look, here it is. This thing is dope. I'm not using it now because it's dead, but here it is. It's so cute. I love this thing. Anyway, this was the first product I sold. I still make money on this every single day. Every single day of my life, I make money on this. So then they keep sending me free products. Well, I had this complex, and I probably even spoke to a few people on these lives about it, my girls. I had a complex like, oh shit, if I do TikTok live, people are going to be like, oh no, there goes that girl. The way I looked at it is, these people, really hear me out. These people are going to send me free things to do a review, and in the event that it sells, I make money. I don't have to worry about inventory. I don't have to worry about refunds. Like, I'm safe from all of that. They hold my money, and then if someone refunds, they take it. It doesn't hit my account. I don't have to send it back. I don't have to do any of that. So, like, why not do it, right? Okay, so I've had so many signs lately. Like, if you know, you know. This is Dory and a purple seashell. I ran across this guy called Residual Earners. And I don't know, something about him. I'm not affiliated with him either, but something about his page, I was like, I like this guy. He's like an old-timey guy. And so I told one of my clients, I'm like, oh, Residual Earners, have you heard? Or here's what his son said. This is what got me. His son said, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to get great. And I'm like, boom, I love these people. I love you so much. He's a multimillionaire. He started with some type of MLM selling cable and internet, whatever. So I told my client, she said, have you seen the cowboy guy? Or is that the cowboy guy? And I'm like, what cowboy guy? And so I look him up. Sure enough, there's a cowboy guy. He wears a white hat. I love him so much. He's amazing. So I started following him. His name is Randy Hedge. Oh, my dog. Hang on a minute. Randy Hedge. Come on. Lay down. Okay, so I started following Randy Hedge. And I'm watching his lives in the morning, while I'm like making breakfast and getting ready. And he's showing his back office live of like 15K a month, 12K a month, 11K a month, whatever. He started at like nothing. The first month he made not shit, and then Well, I was like, you know what? I've started sending his lives to some of my clients that are in the goal of getting above survival. And they're like, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Or I can't get to 5K. I've told people on calls that book here on TikTok, you get a 45-minute free call, and they're like, oh, I'm struggling so bad. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm losing my car. I'm losing everything. I'm like, bro, you should do TikTok Shop. It works. It works. No, it doesn't work. It's too hard. It's too hard. It's too hard. It's too hard. Well, I've been selling now on TikTok very, very loosely. I maybe have 5 or 6 products up in the last 6 months that I've been doing it. But I've made money. Pretty good money on there for having no attention, especially on this little bitty mic. It's only $1 or something every time it sells, but I've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. So it's like, how fun is that? The watch that my daughter uses, I posted it once, and I'm telling the truth. Like, I'm just being honest. This watch is cool. It's not Apple. It doesn't have to be hooked to a cell phone plan. She gets to count her steps. It's pretty safe. I can't track her, so that sucks. But even in saying that, people love it. They're like, ching, 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 ching. And it's honest. This is why it feels good, because it's squeaky clean. Here's what I'm going to do. I am holding a TikTok intensive, call it remastered, whatever the hell you want to call it. The link is in my bio, wherever you are. It's free, no charge. This Friday, I'm going to bring us on, and let's have a conversation about how to get this set up. This is not TikTok seller. I don't know how to sell as like a distributor like you would on Amazon. But the guys that I've spoke to, Randy specifically, he's a very successful man, and his little prediction is that this is coming up close to like Amazon. let's not miss an opportunity. But here's beyond that. This is the energy I want to carry into this. Why can't we just F around and find out? The objection that I've been getting from people is, it's hard. I can't do it. It's not going to work. Then I'll do it with you. I don't know what to post. Then get in the chat and we'll post with you. I don't know how to get to 5K. Well, come on the Zoom call and I'll tell you how to get to 5K or how to get an account that has 5K on it so that you can sell. Excuses are done. Let me tell you why I think this is such a good idea. Because the numbers say so. Can it just not be that easy? You can post a video on this app and get millions of people's eyeballs on it in a matter of minutes. Over here, it doesn't work that way. But it's fine because each platform has their own vibe and their own purpose. If you are at a place right now where you feel like, I am sick and tired of this, I just want something different. I can't, Catherine, I hear this all the time. I can't even think about where I go because I'm just so swamped. I'm swamped. I got so much in front of me right now. Oh my God, my kids are driving me crazy. I have a headache. I just can't do this. Okay. Tell me how you'd feel if you had an extra 15K in your bank account. Listen, I'm not giving you a money back guarantee. You're not investing any money on me in this challenge. But what I'm telling you is that the proof is in the pudding. I've never promoted anything that hasn't worked for me. And although I've never made $20,000 in 1 month on TikTok Shop, I've also never been completely focused on it either. But I'm going to focus. And if you see this and don't join me, then I'm going to keep you posted on my results as well. I'll show you if it works. We'll do it together. My goal is $15,000 within 3 months. That's what I want. I want a 15K month within 3 months. General statistics is that you throw a bunch of crap at the wall and then it's going to stick at some point. Okay. I am committed to teaching you what I learned. I know a lot already. I have a lot of connections with people that do this. I'm very close to the success. I just haven't made it an intention. So all this is really is I'm inviting you to do this with me. You want to do it? Then let's do it. When we round all of this out, there is a way, always. And those of you that follow me know I say this all the time. At any given moment, you have all the people, places, things, ideas, and resources you need at any given moment to move forward. This is something you have access to. Your biggest barrier is getting 5K followers. That's your biggest barrier. But again, in the masterclass, I'm going to give you some shortcuts. But that's your biggest barrier. Beyond that, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, you got to get over yourself. You can either do this or do something else, but you do not have the right to stay stuck because there are things that you can do. You know, some of my most favorite coaches, and if you don't know Melanie Ann Lair, go check her out. Stormy introduced me to her a long time ago. I really resonate with her work. I feel like I'm a mini her, to be very honest with you. We think a lot of the same thoughts in the same way. She started just by posting on the internet. And so I have a very dear client that just started working with me, and she mentioned this the other day. That's why it's top of mind. She's like, well, I was, messaged Catherine that I was on some stuff, and then she said, well, have you worked your business today and given it all you got? No. That's what I'm saying, guys. There's a mixture, and that's what I believe phase 2 is evolving into. My phase 2 experience, which is a longer term commitment, a total life transformation, it's really hard to put in words. I can't put it into words for you, but what I know it is a complete life shift. Oh, I'm trying to kick my dog because she's pissing me off. You know, the Goldies, they get on my nerves. She chews on everything. And then she huffs at me. Phase 2 experience is a total life shift. Some comments were filtered to protect the community's experience. Who's being mean to me? Don't be mean to me. Only love here, okay? I created the Phase 2 beta experience as a 12 module, 3-month course for $5,500. And I brought a handful of people in, 4 or 5 people into the beta world. And then I did this like, oh, come in on these really fun coupon code things. And then I had a couple other people sign up in between here, there, and everywhere, and a few here lately in the last 3 weeks or so. And when I tell you that I know that magic is brewing, I mean that with all my heart. Like, I have been collecting testimonials, which is not easy for me to do, but my clients have been sending, I'm grateful for this community. I love to be here. I feel really heard. In the last 2 weeks being on this mastermind, I've received 2 new coaching clients, and I'm so grateful. And I'm taking what you're teaching and I'm telling it to my new client, and my client's telling it to her students in social work, and they're growing and they're thriving and they're feeling so good. And you cannot ignore the magic. To me, it's like you cannot ignore the good. Something beautiful is brewing here. And I believe that everybody deserves to feel supported in this way, regardless of whether it's with me or somebody else. It doesn't matter where you go, but what I do know without a shadow of a doubt is that proximity is so huge. You really want to be around people that cover you in love, that really make you feel on top of the world, that celebrate you for just smelling nice today. You want to be around people that are making moves, that are showing up. We get on the Zoom sometimes and are like, well, that's hard. Okay. Love you. Now, what are you going to do about it? Let's go. Let's do this. I know that we can do it. And here's something I believe in undoubtedly, without a shadow of a doubt, because I've seen this happen so many times. So often, people only need to borrow belief from you for a short period of time until they explode. You just need a little bit of momentum to show yourself that you can do it, to be able to do it in a way where you know that you just did that on purpose, and then you take off. And this happens so often that it's undeniable. And I feel this within my soul. Like, I might not be able to put it into words, but what I can give you is proximity for a moment. And this was an idea that we had during my last masterclass. We brought people in, put them behind a paywall because I wanted serious inquiries, and then gave them access to the world, to the communities. What does it feel like to be in a community? What does that even mean? What do you mean? In a room full of a bunch of strangers, you get on there and read books? Yes, we do. We do. And it's completely life changing. It's my plug-in mastermind, y'all, is my longest standing, it's my first ever offer. Thank you so much. It's my first ever offer. It's the longest standing offer that I've had, and it's freaking magic. You don't know it till you feel it. And this is something I want to gift you inside of this TikTok intensive, is a glimpse into the world of support. What does it feel like to be supported? What does it feel like for people to genuinely care about you? I wasn't raised with that. And I think that's why I'm so good at creating spaces in that way. I've always been told that I'm motherly natured. I am motherly natured. I take care of my people. You become my tribe. And so I'm opening this up so that you can feel what it feels like to be supported. Oh, the girls are over here. Your energy is such a vibe. Once you experience it, you won't want to leave. On God, not even being boastful, that is the feedback that we get. When people get into this world with me, the hardest part is believing in themselves enough to come, believing in themselves enough to invest their time, their money, their energy, and their attention with us. But once they get there, it feels so good. It feels so good that you don't want to leave, because you know the acorn story? An acorn in your pocket can't grow. An acorn in the right environment is able to grow into an oak tree. And as corny as it sounds, it's the truth. We get to watch magic unfold here. Let me believe in you when you don't believe in you. Oh, yes, it's so true. It's borrowing belief. And I've had people say to me, how do you, you don't even know me. You don't even know me. I don't need to know you. I don't need to know you, because I know we're all wow, how did I forget that? We're all different, but we're natured the same. Holy shit, that just left my head for a moment. We're all natured, but we're We're all different, but we're natured the same. Jesus Christ. On my spiritual journey, my personal spiritual journey, my belief is that there is a pond. I look at it like a pond. And pond is God or consciousness. It's all that is ether, energy, call it what you will. Pond. On the edge of the pond are a bunch of little shot glasses, billions and billions of shot glasses. When you're born, you're taken up like a shot glass, filled up with the water, and now you come down to earth. So you are a human, the shot glass, filled with God. You are of God. And so this does not disqualify anybody. And I might sound like a broken record on this too. Everybody, thank you, Astro King. You are just the best. Everybody is filled with God. You could say, I am of God. I am made in the likeness and image of God. I am a God. I just have to take pictures. You are just the sweetest. I love you. Thank you for your support. Oh my goodness. Look at that number grow. I tell you what. To think that shit almost makes me tear up. Like, seriously, to think about this. Stormy could even relate to this, and I only keep calling her out because I've known you for so long. To think that one day, little bitty Catherine, I wish I could find a relevant journal entry. Hey, Merry Christmas Eve. This is 12/24/2006. Hey, Merry Christmas Eve. Yeah, well, I'm happy because I had my Christmas with Sierras today. I got a tote bag and a lip gloss. I have something that I have to admit. I think I like this dude named Alex. He's getting me a Razer phone for Christmas, I hope. I'm going to need to marry this one. Well, I'm a go. So yeah, Merry Christmas. Oh my God, what in the world? To think that I could go from this to where I sit today just completely, I'm just so full of gratitude. I am just so very grateful. And it's a testament to the work. It really, really is, man. If I could just instill this level of belief, you're a walking vessel of God energy, and you have got access to do anything you want to do. It's your mind that keeps you stuck. I have had to overcome so many mental limitations. So, yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah, 2006. So many mental limitations on the pursuit here. So many moments of imposter syndrome. I can't make that amount of money. I can't do that. I can't go on this vacation. I can't do all this. This is too much. I'm not qualified. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. I want to leave you with this idea. When you approach someone, when you're in the pursuit of something great and you are stepping up to the plate, the people around you, the new folks around you, only know you the way that you present yourself. And so any excuse to not show up today or tomorrow as the most amazing version of yourself you don't have an excuse. I don't believe your excuses. This was just said to me recently. I feel the exact same way. Hey, Debbie, I don't believe your excuses because none of them are relevant. I want to get out of this hole, then get out of the hole. I can't. I'm broke. Then get unbroke. Why can't you open the business? I don't have any money. Why can't you make money? I don't know. I don't know how to get started. Yes, you do. Look it up. Everything on the internet is free. Like, what do you need? Some support, some proximity. Read a book. You want to read a book? People want instant gratification. Dude, you got to put your tail end into the game. When you're pursuing something that you want more than anything, though, it doesn't feel like work. And I finally understood that that's what they mean when they say, do a career where you don't ever feel like you're working. Well, the reason you feel that way is because your mission is so big that it carries you. You can't have blind faith. I keep saying you can't. You can do anything you want. In my opinion, the pursuit of greatness, you can't be walking in blind faith. You mean to tell me that you believe in all these things and you believe that you're great and you believe that you're good and everything is working out for you, and then as soon as you hit a roadblock, you quit? Oh, it's not meant for me. I'm not supposed to do this. No. Why? Says who? This is blind faith. This is stopping at the first sign of difficulty and of trouble. I've never seen someone make a dope business that way. And if they're on the internet telling you that they did, they're probably on the phone with a coach crying in the background trying to figure out how to sustain it. I think what we should look for is beautiful, sustainable results over time. I just said to someone the other day, I would rather see you make $3,000 consistently every single month for 6 to 12 months than make one $20,000 paycheck and never do it again. What's the point? What's the point? You're trying to jump rungs on the ladder. Like people are, oh my God, I want to make $1 million and I want to make $700,000. You got to make 5K first. Then you need to make 10, then you need to make 20, and you need to sustain this money. Oh, it's telling me you've been on too long, Katrin. I got to do the puzzle. You got to be able to sustain it. And I know so many people that take this information, they do these crazy, big, wild, extravagant things, thinking that they're doing the right thing, but really what they're not changing is what's inside. The internal relationship with people, with places, with money, with ideas, belief systems, God. Who's your creator? Like, where'd you come from? We have so much sifting to do. And so in the name of transparency, if you will, the coaching world, I guess any business would say, there's kind of two ideas. You got the outcome, which people want a lot of money. I want money. Then come sign up for my masterclass. I want more money. Okay, then come sign up for my masterclass. I want money. You think you want money. And then you think a masterclass on TikTok Shop is going to be the solution, which it will give you insight and it will give you accountability. But there's so much more to it than that. There's so much more to making and sustaining money, because I, my friend, got in, made a shitload of money, lost a shitload of money, and have been building it back up ever since. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. And that's why I think I'm in a unique position to share this, because I know what it's like on all the different sides. I know what it's like to be raised with nothing. I know what it's like to work up a corporate ladder. I know what it's like to be taking care of someone to the point where you're trapped and you want to leave and you can't because you're under someone's thumb. And I know what it's like to be a woman that holds all the bills and now the pressure's on your back and you want to be able to breathe a little bit, and all of these different dynamics. I get it. And so what do? How do we build something that ends up building us? We need to lead life with a certain character. You got to have character. You need stamina. You need resilience, energy. You got to have that fighter, but you also got to be sensual. You got to be magnetic. You got to be powerful, full of power. I've heard the word recently as well, charisma. Sure, charisma. You need to have thrill, but not be too excitable. Your undercurrent needs to be success. When you meet someone and they just feel really good to be around, they just feel good to be around. Don't start talking politics in my comments section. Hang on a minute. This is the energy that we want to cultivate, is to feel so good when people approach us, they feel good in our presence because you feel safe. It's not enough, guys, for us to go out looking for safety, looking for somewhere to feel safe, looking for a spouse that's going to cure our loneliness, looking for a rich man to marry so that you can live happily ever after. You're never going to find it. So long as we live that way, your happiness, your contentment, your love, it's all based on outside of you. 100% outside of you. And that means if it's outside of you, it can be taken from you. And I know I'm young, but I feel like I have an old soul. I shut that shit down. I got my own opinions, but we're not doing that here. Different conversation. I feel like I'm an old soul. And I feel like if we could just, you know what? Here's the thing. If we could circle back to the very moment when we first decided we were interested in a conversation like this, can you please just in your head for one moment remember, what was the first thing that you heard or that someone said to you that made you feel like, wait a minute, maybe I am a badass? Like, what was that moment? When was that? Do you remember why you got into the world of spirituality, personal development, mindset work in the first place? What do you do? Why are you sitting listening to a woman like me? Why? Where's the seed? I find it interesting that folks I've known in this work for years have forgotten why they came here in the first place. Or worse yet, come in for a reason and have not allowed themselves to evolve past then. I don't know why this just came to my spirit, but let me say this. I started with that Thinking into Results course in a certain community around a certain group of people, and I have in my gratitude, so many times I've written this, I am so glad I did not stop there. I am so glad that I continued to study after Thinking into Results, because do you know what ends up happening? People study this work, it doesn't work, and then they quit the work, but it was never the work. It was your embodiment of it. It was your actually leading in a different way. If you have followed me for any amount of time, you know I talk about the Trinity often. Imagination, intellect, physical form. We get stuck in imagination and intellectualizing. Oh, well, I could be a real estate agent, but I don't think I should. And well, I could take that exam, but I don't think I should. And I could open that business, but Sally Mae said I shouldn't do that. Oh, well, I could do an online business. Let me look it up. Cost $9. Fuck that. Well, I could do great things, masterclass a day, fuck that. Oh, well, I could completely press the reset button on my life, lead an extraordinary life, be on a boat, be so happy, have the best relationship of my life, everything is so good, the money is good, I'm sending my kid to college. $5,500 for a program to help me do that? Screw that. That's like a parable I just read. And I don't understand this. I keep getting so excited, my phone keeps falling. We read this parable in my mastermind the other day. I think it was in, oh, no, I can't cite the book, sorry. Maybe I will find it another day. There's a parable though, and it's like this guy is professing his love to this woman, and he's like, oh, I love you, and I'll go to the ends of the earth for you, and you're the best thing that's ever happened to me, and and then at the end of the letter, he signs it and says, I'll walk over tonight if it doesn't rain. And I love that. That's been like playing in my head over and over again. When I got in here, when I was gifted an opportunity to have an experience that I would not have otherwise ever been able to find anywhere else with such an amazing group of people, I never questioned the money, like the value of spending the money. I questioned how I was going to get it, to the point of almost selling a vehicle to find it. And I think that shows the level of belief in yourself. Because when you do something like this, and this is anything in education, like think about how people trust that they're just going to go and spend $120,000 on an education, and you trust that you're going to get a job and make it all back. You don't know. You don't know. You're taking a risk on yourself. And so it's just always baffled me that we want big, great things, but we're not willing to put our butt in the game in order to do it. And this could be for anything. If you want to be a real estate agent, go take the course. It's going to cost you money, yes. If you want to be the best graphic designer, go learn how to do it. You don't have to sit at your computer and try to figure it all out yourself. This is what Hormozi was telling us. Musk has said this. The greats tell you. Even Oprah has said it. Steve Harvey. The best thing you can spend your money on is to buy time. How do you buy time? You learn from people that went before you so that you don't have to make all the same mistakes. Even my good friend Randy, he was on the live the other day, and this guy was like, I had an account with 2-point-something million followers, and Randy's like, please tell us what it was so I can learn from you. I don't want to make that same mistake. I'll pay you for you to tell me what happened, please. I don't want to do that. I don't want my account to get shut down. This is called collapsing time, y'all. And it's a new awareness I've had, is like any coach I've hired, the hesitation has only been because the energy's not there really, or that maybe that's not exactly what I need, but never because I don't like trust myself to have my feet in the fire. Anyway, I digress. My TikTok masterclass, oh wait, the voices of there is more in life stopped when I got into this material. That's when things changed for me. Amen. Katie, I'm so interested in this. Would you please message me when you get a chance to talk to you more about it? Have to run. Oh, of course. Okay. Oh, I see comments. I didn't even think there were any over here. Okay. My free TikTok intensive is last minute. It's this Friday. Link is in my bio. Please go sign up. I'm going to teach you what I know about the app and about TikTok Shop. The deeper process for TikTok is going to be inside of it's in a different place. It's not Friday, but Friday I'm going to give you exactly what you need in order to get started, get going, and then be in a chat so we stay accountable and do a gold rush. It's basically a gold rush. If they can do it, we can do it. And I've heard enough of people saying it doesn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Oh yeah? I'm going to show you that if you come in and you do the work, it's going to work, because it does work. I've seen it work. At minimum, I know that requesting samples is real. You do get them. I do know without a shadow of a doubt that you do have to post a video within 7 days, or you're going to get knocks. I do know most of the guidelines that you need to follow when posting the video. I do know that it takes a certain number of days for you to, like, if someone buys it, they have to clear it in case it refunds. And then I know that you have to put in your information, whatever, your personal information, and then they send you money on PayPal, and that PayPal goes straight to your bank account. I know it works. I know the system works. And so I feel confident in this. Friday, I'm doing it at 12 noon. 1, because I have a client call at 12. So it's at 1 p.m. But you'll get the replay. Sign up if you want. You can have the replay. And that's what we're going to do. Okay. This has been quite the long video, but thank you guys so much. I have 12,000 likes. Astro King gave me more gifts than I think I've ever had in my whole entire live game ever. And that is so amazing. I got like 2 galaxies and a crap load of just all kinds of things. And that means the world to me. It really does. And the 12K likes, you guys, thank you so much. I love my community over here. And I want to help you. Hearted it up. Yes. Thank you, Michelle. I want to help you do great things. I want to help you build something that ends up building you. And I am like damn determined to do it, no matter in which way, shape, or form we have to go about it. As always, please check out my link in bio for resources. You can book, if you have never, a 45-minute free coaching call with me. Everybody gets one in the world. And then if you have my number, check in if you ever have any questions. I've got paid downloads there for money. I have a new money ebook, The Energetics of Wealth, coming out soon. I'm really excited about that. So keep your eyes peeled. I'll probably come and tell you about it, I'm sure. I will be live. I have broken my story down into chunks, and I've got a lot of really amazing, fun, vulnerable, spicy things to share with you. And I cannot wait to do that. So until next time, I shall see you on the internet. I'm going to end Facebook first. Bye. Oh, I'm ending at 1 hour and 11 minutes. You cannot make this up. I swear to God. Okay, bye, Facebook. Love you. Oh my.